Hello everybody, this is TipTop MTG here today with another Magic the Gathering video. In today's video, we are looking at some information provided by Mark Rosewater about Core Set 2021. So if you guys didn't see, for Ikoria Layer Behemoths, he did something very similar, where he basically just gave a bunch of hints. And so what I did is I took all these hints, put them in a document, and I added in some information. I did some research about a bunch of them. And yeah, so I'm going to basically break down those hints, break down my research, and give you some information maybe you didn't see the first time. So, it's going to have a brand new Planeswalker from a plane we visited. Now, the term brand new Planeswalker, what does that mean? One that's relatively new, one that's never had a card before, one that we haven't even heard the name of before. So that's not really clear. However, from a plane we visited, makes me think that it's, I don't know, it could be something. It could really be anything. These are the more broad hints, but we have a card that lets you draw half of your library. So, again, not much to say here. For all I know, this is an 8-cost spell, and it just says you draw a card equal to half your library rounded down. You know, that could be the whole card, so there's not much I have to say there. But a +1/+1 Tribal Lord for a creature type that's never had one, and a creature type with over 50 cards already in print. So what I did is I didn't obviously check every single creature type, that would be insane. But I took some of the ones, some just random ones, but also some ones that I thought maybe could be it, like spirits. I could see a Teferi themed set having spirits as kind of a theme. And so it is not spirits. Spirits does have a tribal card, and so does Kithkin. That one was just because it happened to be like fall right on 50 and or 51, and I was like, oh, maybe. But it is not advisors, not avatars, not lizards, not mutants, and it could be advisors, avatars, lizards, mutants, core. There are a lot more. I also got rid of any of them that were too high over 50. Avatar was probably the highest I went there, where you can see 78 cards. But some creature types have like 200 cards and no Lord Tribal for it. But I kind of cut those out because I feel like the number here would have been higher unless it's purposely low to avoid people guessing what it is. Especially because that could affect prices. If you can figure out what creature type is in the next set as a main theme, that's a pretty big deal. Now, a character with a Vanguard card and a legendary creature card gets a second of the latter. So what this basically means is there was Vanguard cards, they are these weird cards, that's not that important, and then they have also had one legendary creature card. A Vanguard card and a legendary creature card. So this is every single character found on a Vanguard card and only one legendary creature. So here are all of those. I mean, this one doesn't really matter, but here are some of the characters that you might find in the next one. There's a card type with 31 different options. Now, this could be slightly misleading. I don't think there's a card that just says choose one and then there's 31 different things. So I said a creature type, like grab a otter you control from outside the game, put it onto the battlefield. So it could be something along those lines, where, you know, there's 31 of that creature type, so therefore you have 31 different options. But it could also be like you pay some amount of life and it does something. I don't know. This one is also kind of broad. Now, a card that gains all activated abilities of a certain subset of cards in a place it's never done it before. So creatures have stolen creatures' abilities. Creatures have stolen non-creatures' abilities. So I think it's not a creature. I think it's a land that gains all abilities from all other lands. It enters the battlefield tapped. It could also be technically like a in-hand kind of thing. If there's a mechanic within Core Set 2021 that is like new for some reason, and it like has something to do with doing things from your hand and having activated abilities in your hand, maybe it's some weird thing with that. But I think it's most likely to be a land that gains all abilities of all lands or all abilities of all creatures. But that's what I think it's going to be. If it didn't say activated abilities, I would say it's an instant that gains all effects from all things on the stack, which would be pretty cool, but I think it's going to end up being lands. A card that uses a non-evergreen named ability over 20 years old. Now, first off, this is big news on its own. Core Set 2021 is going to have non-evergreen abilities, which normally they don't. But here are all of the abilities that I was able to find that are over 20 years old. We have Banding, Landwalk, Regeneration, Fear, Bands with Others, Rampage, Cumulative Upkeep, Flanking, Phasing, Buyback, Shadow, Cycling, Echo, Horsemanship, Fading. Okay. What do I think is going to be the thing? I think obviously, like, things like Banding are not going to be here. Landwalk seems a little outdated. Regeneration, outdated. Fear, maybe Fear, maybe Rampage. maybe Buyback. Those are the three that if I had to guess would be it. I mean, Echo is also not that bad, but like those four are probably the only ones I could see coming back. I mean, Shadow maybe, and obviously Cycling has come back, but I don't see them doing that 2 sets in a row. So yeah, those are the ones I think it's going to be. Next, we have a card with the words Battlefield Cast, Creature, Converted Mana Cost until end of turn, Exile, Graveyard, Mana Cost. Now, what could this be? I just wrote a little example. When card name enters the battlefield, exile target creature with converted mana cost X or less from a graveyard. You may cast the exiled creature without paying its mana cost until end of turn. This one really doesn't mean much. That could be a generic effect. It could also be something much different. It could also be an instant that just exile target creature card. You may cast it until end of turn, you know. So, yeah, that's all that I have to say about that. We have an aura inspired from an aura inspired from a cycle of Urza's Saga. So there were 3 cycles. There's the Embrace cycle, the Rancor cycle, and the Momentum cycle. The only one that I've actually heard of is the Rancor cycle, and if they're trying to get like the nostalgia factor, I'm going to guess this is going to be a ripoff of Rancor in some way, maybe an inverted Rancor where it gives +2 toughness and vigilance or something instead of +2 and trample, something along that line. But yeah. And then a non-evergreen enchantment subtype returns. So the subtypes of enchantments are cartouches, curses, sagas, shrines. I could see curses, sagas, and shrines being in standard. Cartouches I could really only see in the planes they are associated with, but I think it's going to be shrines due to their inclusion in Historic Anthology 3. It was a very random thing to add, and you know, this just kind of points to the fact that shrines are going to be in Core Set 2021, which should improve the power of that deck in Historic. Then we have some reprints. Now these ones, I'm not super certain on, but a popular character first introduced in flavor text. I've heard people talking about Ugin. It's very hard for me to look through every single card and be like, well, this card says Ugin, but there's been no Ugin card at this point. So people have been talking about Ugin. We have a French Vanilla Mythic Rare, which is just basically a creature with only keywords on it. So we have something like a Chroma, which we had at Chroma's Memorial, printed in Historic Anthology 3. Baneslayer Angel, again, just random keywords on an angel. Hex Drinker, which technically is like level up, but that's like a keyword, I'm not sure. Impervious Great Worm, currently in standard now. Iridescent Angel, random keywords. Lightning Angel, random keywords. And Ornithopter, 0/2 with flying. Sarah Angel was technically a mythic at one point, and Vorapede, random green card. So basically, yeah, it's probably going to be one of these. If I were to guess, I would guess something like a Chroma. That would be my big guess. They're not going to do an Ornithopter because it's in Historic Anthology 3. I don't think they're going to count Sarah Angel. So I honestly think this is going to be a Chroma. And I think that makes a lot of sense. We have a popular aura that started as part of a cycle. I honestly have no idea what this could be. Like, legitimately, this could be almost anything. Obviously, it would have to be an aura. But, yeah, there's not that much to say here. If you guys have any ideas of what this popular aura could be, and that's just part of a cycle, let me know. A card with unique protection. I don't know, protection from demons. It could really be anything that's just a weird protection. It could be, I don't know, protection from instants. And these are all reprints, so we have 2 cards played in tournaments that have been reprinted over 20 times with at least 5 different pieces of art. Things like Negate, Spell Pierce, maybe not Spell Pierce, Negate, Shock, all of those that are just constantly in standard. Those are what they're talking about here. A card that's never previously appeared in a Premier set. So that'd be something that was printed in a Commander product or printed in some side product somewhere. You know, it could be something like that. It's really any of those. A card that's never been reprinted before and has a 2, 3, 5, and 6 all appear on the card. I think that's a typo. Which, I mean, okay, 2, 3, 5, and 6. Maybe you're counting, except you're skipping 4. I don't know. I guess it never says 4 isn't on the card. And it's never been reprinted. Again, if you have any ideas for what that could be, leave them in the comments down below. If you have no idea what that is, maybe someone left it in the comments down below. And then we have a human monk, which there are 54 of, which is honestly surprising. I misspelled monks. Oh my gosh, I am an idiot sometimes, or all the time. And then a card from the Time Spiral Time Shifted sheet. So, you know, that's pretty much it for like all of the little clues. We did this with Ikoria. I kind of just read them and didn't have any information. I had a little bit more information here. Not everything, obviously, because these are meant to be vague. We're supposed to speculate. Again, if you have any speculation as what you think these are, leave those in the comments down below. If you enjoyed, please hit that like button, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.